Welcome to Miss Hayden's 5th grade class, Green Schools Project.
We focused on energy, room climate, and recycling, and here is why. We need to learn ways of measuring it in order to manage its efficiency.
We learned the basics and then did 2 projects, one on classroom climate and the other on cafeteria recycling.
Measurements are needed to help understand and manage building efficiency.
Our objectives were to learn about green building and efficiency, and to do a study on our classroom climate and a recycling project.
We learned how to use both thermometers, non-contact thermometers, and thermocouples.
Temperature is very important because it helps with our health, and we use a lot of energy to control the temperature.
We learned about temperature variation, the sun radiation, wind, and other things that affected temperature.
We measured the temperatures of our body core and skin and around our classroom. Outside we found that the ground was really cold and the walls were really hot, and we learned why. We took a tour of our janitor around our school to see how the Green Schools Project related with our school.
We looked at what heats and cools our school.
Learn what a watt is. It is how we measure energy. It is how much energy is needed to lift an apple 1 yard in a second.
We learned about watts using a kilowatt meter and measuring.
Spent on electric, natural gas, and water.
In a year, our building used over 200 megawatts of electricity and around 300 megawatts of gas for heat, costing over $14,000.
Here we get a lesson from Scott Flynn on certified green building.
Transfer, insulation, and air conditioning affect our houses.
We did experiments to learn about insulations.
Always came up with more questions to answer.
Our first project was measuring the temperatures of our classroom.
The red stars show where we put temperature sensors in our.
This graph shows air temperatures in the center of our room over a week. The temperatures are steady for the first half and then vary for about 5 degrees.
The top graph shows temperatures of the combined heater and AC unit over days. The bottom graph shows sunlight coming in our windows of each day. Notice the AC comes on right after the heat on these sunny days. This surprised us for a cold January 2014 week.
This is a decibel meter showing that our vents are very loud.
Top graph shows wind speed from ceiling fans. Below graph shows temperatures from ground to ceiling. Surprisingly, temperatures are warmest near ground. Heat formed below must rise into our classroom, and our ceiling fan is blowing in the wrong direction.
Miss Hayden got permission to turn off the vent. Bottom graph shows the days the vent and heat or AC was turned off. The top graph of room temperature suggests little effect.
Measurements were very insightful. More local control would probably help. Passive heating and cooling with shade would save lots of money.
Project number 2, cafeteria recycling. After our discussions, we felt like the lack of recycling in our cafeteria was a biggest need.
We looked at our trash and saw recyclables, milk cartons, and food. We came up with a recycling plan and started it.
On average, every day, we had about 50 gallons of trash, 50 gallons of milk cartons, and up to 10 pounds of fruit.
We also calculated that this is nearly 1,000 gallons per month of trash, 1,000 gallons per month of milk cartons. Recycling milk cartons could save $500 per year.
There are FDA laws about fixing the food problem. We could use milk dispensers and reusable cups. We also looked for carton recycling options.
We got super lucky and we found a place that recycles milk cartons. Transportation was the only problem, and we're working towards that.
We wrote letters to relevant people about our concerns and findings.
Principal and administrators about.
Our project was done by all 22 classmates
And impacted over 300 students.
and even more school visitors, staff, and administrators.
If we can get carton recycling to work, it could impact thousands of students valley-wide.
The end.
Or is it just the beginning?